This attack stands out for its appalling, sickening cowardice.
Murdered by evil losers in life.
This has been the most horrific incident we have ever faced here in Greater Manchester.
Corey, get round this way!
And then a gentleman said, "Run!"
Ariana Grande on stage last night. Many of the people here children and teenagers. Moments from the end, this. Look to the left of the screen, the flash of the explosion, and then the boom. Inside the arena, this is what it was like.
Oh my God. What's going on? What just happened? What's going on? Oh my God!
Few of these fans knew what had happened. Some thought it was balloons exploding, others blamed a failing loudspeaker. In fact, it was something much, much worse.
Ladies and gentlemen, please take your time. There's no need to bunch up.
Just metres away, a man had walked into the foyer and blown himself up, just as fans began to leave, causing carnage and chaos.
Quick, Corey! Which way? Come on! Corey needs to get round! Corey, get round this way! Come on! Just shut up! Stay in the car!
Yo, this is crazy. Like, people got trampled on and everything. Like,
We said, let's go now before the rush. So we walked towards where the MEN car park is, where we were parked. As I turned round, boom, one loud noise. For the first 10 seconds, we thought about it, and we just walked with haste, and then a gentleman said, "Run!" As soon as we got to the car, you could smell the burning. There were people around us. The children were devastated. It was full of beautiful young girls and boys and families, and it's just tragic to think that such a great family evening has now ended in such horror.
We were just coming out when we heard the explosion. We were just on our way out outside the arena.
and how old are your daughters?
12 and 10.
Well, there was a massive bang, and then everyone just started running towards us, screaming and crying, and didn't know what had gone on. So everyone was like trampling over us, and it was just awful.
Yeah, we were just really confused. There was a big bang, we could smell smoke, everyone was screaming and crying, and we were just told to come round here and didn't even know what was going on.
Obviously we were scared, weren't we?
Really scared because we didn't know what it was. We were kind of hoping it wasn't the worst, but then it ended up being the worst sort of thing.
There was a rapid response from emergency services. 59 people taken to hospital, dozens more treated at the scene. But inside the arena, the haunting sight of the dead and dying. By the time the Chief Constable spoke at breakfast time, that had risen to 22 victims.
We have been treating this as a terrorist incident, and we believe at this stage the attack last night was conducted by one man. The priority is to establish whether he was acting alone or as part of a network. The attacker, I can confirm, died at the arena. We believe the attacker was carrying an improvised explosive device which he detonated, causing this atrocity.
This was the worst terrorist attack in Britain for a decade, the worst ever in the north of England. The general election campaign has been suspended. The Prime Minister expressed outrage.
All acts of terrorism are cowardly attacks on innocent people. But this attack stands out for its appalling, sickening cowardice, deliberately targeting innocent, defenceless children and young people who should have been enjoying one of the most memorable nights of their lives.
Today, those who'd been at the concert were still coming to terms with what they'd seen.
Everything kind of went calm for about 5 or 6 seconds. And I mean, everyone in the arena was scarily still.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden that was it. There was pandemonium everywhere.
People were sort of moving from the exit that they'd originally trying to get
coming
out
right
of
down the stairs.
and coming down to our neck of the woods, if you like. So there was a great big bottleneck.
Yeah.
Everybody's pushing, everybody's shoving, the shoes being lost, phones being dropped,
I mean, we
bags.
saw one girl who literally skimmed the top of the chair. She went straight over the stairs because she was just so panicked to get out.
Almost as Mrs May was talking, Manchester's Arndale Centre was being evacuated by the police. They later said it was unrelated to last night's attack, but nerves are frayed. Soon came police action that was related to the attack. A 23-year-old man arrested in South Manchester, a search in Whalley Range, and a controlled explosion here in the city's Fallowfield district.
We've just heard a loud bang and it looks like they've raided the house.
Shook up is not the word.
And we were at that concert last night and we are pretty shooken up right now.
Islamic State has claimed that one of its members carried out these killings, and now we're learning who those victims were. Among them, 8-year-old Safi Rose Roussos, who was at the concert with her mother and brother. Georgina Callender was 18, a student and a huge fan of Ariana Grande. And John Atkinson, who was 26. Some of the dead have not yet been identified. Families cling to the hope that missing people will turn up, such as 15-year-old Olivia Campbell.
We've rung every hospital, we've rung every hotel, we've been down to Manchester, we've looked around every hotel, we've looked around back streets, we've been everywhere. We're just absolutely devastated. All we want to do is get a phone call. If anybody sees her, just ring the police, go on Facebook, contact us.
Amidst the trauma, Manchester delivered kinship, a crisis centre set up at Manchester City's Etihad Stadium. Taxi drivers offering free rides, long lines at blood banks.
The mood, I think, has been sombre, but in Manchester, one of "you won't break us." And I think that that's part of the spirit that has driven people to want to come and do that positive thing today of donating blood.
Manchester United's players stood in silence at training. The manager, Jose Mourinho, said the people of Manchester would pull together as one, a sentiment echoed by the city's newly elected mayor.
I want to thank the people of Manchester. Even in the minutes after the attack, they opened their doors to strangers and drove them away from danger. They gave the best possible immediate response to those who seek to divide us. And it will be that spirit of Manchester that will prevail and hold us together.
There was support from around the world, the new French president writing a message of sympathy. In Berlin, flags flying at half-mast. But the most strident comments came from the American president.
We stand in absolute solidarity with the people of the United Kingdom. So many young, beautiful, innocent people living and enjoying their lives murdered by evil losers in life. I won't call them monsters because they would like that term. They would think that's a great name. I will call them from now on losers because that's what they are. They're losers. And we'll have more of them. But they're losers. Just remember that.
Terrorist attacks have been depressingly familiar across Europe in recent years. 90 were killed in this, the Bataclan theatre attack in Paris, while many more have died or been terribly injured in Nice, Brussels, Munich and elsewhere. Just 2 months ago, 5 people were killed in Westminster. But this Manchester attack is something different. The first time since the 7/7 attacks of 2005 that a suicide bomber has struck in this country.
We all need to have a bit of patience while they put the pieces together. Was this person acting on his own? Was he part of a network? Did he come from Syria or the Iraq region, assuming it is an ISIL attack? Or was it a homegrown terrorist that was inspired by ISIL to carry out an attack like this? It was certainly more sophisticated than we've seen recently on Westminster and elsewhere.
The Prime Minister spent this afternoon in Manchester, signing a book of condolence, visiting hospitals, talking to the police. Tonight she'll chair another meeting of the government's Emergency Cobra Committee. For the moment, the national terrorism threat level remains at severe, the second highest state. This afternoon, the Queen and Prince Philip stood in silence remembering the dead. She denounced these killings as an act of barbarity and praised the humanity and compassion of the people of Manchester. This evening, a crucial piece of the jigsaw, police naming the man who killed so many people.
I can confirm that the man suspected of carrying out last night's atrocity is 22-year-old Salman Abedi. However, he has not yet been formally named by the coroner, and I wouldn't wish to therefore comment any further about him at this stage.
In the heart of Manchester, a vigil for the dead, for the people who went to a pop concert and never came home. Ariana Grande says she feels broken today, and she isn't alone.